Today we're going with some classic Willys Jeeps on the Flat Iron Mesa trail south of Moab, Utah. Flat Iron Mesa is a medium difficult trail. This is our group starting out at the trailhead. We added a couple more Jeeps halfway through. I'll show you those Jeeps when we get there. The beginning of the trail is got some ledges and steps to climb up. Nothing too difficult, but pretty fun. We'll go along with Jeff Petrovich in Bam Bam, his Willys MB, as we climb up and down these steps for a little while. Follow along. That's me up ahead in my 48 CJ2A Grandpa's Jeep. You can see there's another Jeep up ahead of me. We were following another big group from Easter Jeep Safari, and we followed them for a little while, but we'll lose them after a few minutes. I'll show you where. Flat Iron Mesa doesn't really have too many very intimidating obstacles. There are several, but they're not really too intimidating. And the views out there are really amazing. It's really worth the trip down south of Moab to go visit Flat Iron Mesa. This part of the trail is called Rubble Hill. You can see why. It's a pretty steep climb up to the top of this hill, and the road is covered with these rocks or rubble you have to climb up. Once again, it's not really difficult, but it's interesting and different. I think this part of the trail is called the Red Brick Road. This is Alan Kohler and his 3A called Thumper. This big group ahead of us, they really were moving along pretty good and really didn't hold us up much at all. Jesse Coombs in his Willys MB World War II Jeep. There's Kevin Johnson. After this little climb here, we're going to come around into an optional obstacle. This one's called the Chute. It's not too difficult to climb, and it's fun. Doesn't compare at all with the Chute over in Sand Hollow. This is a totally optional obstacle. You can bypass it straight away, and that's what the big group in front of us did, and we didn't see much of them after this. When Jeff gets to the top here, you'll see off to the left there's actually another optional kind of rock buggy line right there. But you take the regular line here and it just takes a hairpin turn up here at the top and goes back down and connects up with the main trail. Jesse and his MB get a little bit of wheel lift here. Yeehaw! This next obstacle is another one that is totally optional. You can drive by it. It's called the Tilt-A-Whirl. A little bit of a challenge, but not terribly. It's fun. Here's how that climb by Thumper looked from the top. On this one, at least with our little Jeeps, once you get around this corner right here, you need to keep your driver's tire up on that step right there, or you can slip down into there and scrape up your side. After we climbed it, a few of us turned around and went back down it. In order to get out, you have to go down to the right and around the hill and down. So we just went back down the tilt-a-whirl. Got a little wheel lift there. I don't even know if I knew I was doing that. We found this nice spot to stop for lunch where we could pull our Jeeps up on the edge of this little drop off. Then we could walk down around and sit next to it because it was getting kind of windy. That picture you just saw was Alan took that, and this is Jeff taking a video of Alan taking that picture. He also kind of swings it around, and you get an idea of what the view out there is like. This canyon is really beautiful, almost Grand Canyon-esque to me. This next obstacle is called Easter Egg Hill, and there is a bypass to Easter Egg Hill. It's kind of a long loop around. But we all went down Easter Egg Hill. Right at the top there, you can get your belly hung up if you're not very large wheeled. And that's what happened to me, and these guys just pushed me off. I think it's called Easter Egg Hill for all these big rocks that are on it.
A lot different in it.
The last time we were on Easter Egg Hill was on the Friday Flat Fender Fun Run a few years ago, and we actually climbed up this thing rather than coming down it. Jeff taking most of the extra credit lines here, driving over the Easter eggs. This is our friend Ryan Nichols that tags along with us sometimes in his fairly new Jeep JL. Figure this thing's about 70 years younger than most of our flat fender Jeeps. Just putting it in here to kind of show you the comparison.
That was pretty good, not turning the lockers on right there.
I think this is the first picture I have of JW in his awesome CJ3B. Makes the Easter egg hill look like a ice cream run. Well, these are our new friends from Canada that we met that caught up with us. This is Justin Trevor. And this is the Easter egg hill from the top. And this is the spot, kind of that big rock where some of us had trouble hanging up on our bellies, and Justin has the same trouble. Nice thing about this is it's downhill and it just takes a little bit of a push on our little Jeeps.
The push might work now.
To kind of change the balance of power here and move the Jeep on down the hill. This is our other Canadian friend, John Denny. And this green thing he calls the rusty cog.
Well, they're going to push you forward.
He gets held up on his belly as well. Just a little push and he's off. The last obstacle is actually called the Intimidator, and it hardly looks like an obstacle here for me as I go around it. But it's a narrow little piece of this trail that's a little bit off camber, and then you have to go around this rock. For our little Jeeps, it's not really that intimidating because they're so narrow. Here's Jeff and Bam Bam, just kind of swinging on around. It's no huge deal for us really, and not that intimidating of an Intimidator. It's a little bit different for Ryan in his big four-door JL. It's really wide and long. You can't start turning too soon to get back away from the ledge because that big rock sticks out there. So you kind of have to keep going like you're going to drive off the edge. It really is a big drop off. It's hard to tell from the camera angles we've got right here. But Jeff went down to get a different picture. You can see he's standing right on the edge. It drops off into this big ravine. It's a long ways down there. And this is the picture that Jeff got. Mostly the rest of us just zipped right through. This last example is John in the Rusty Cog Hill. He took a little wider line than the rest of us. Dropped his tire down in that hole, but made it through just fine. This is the view we saw driving out the rest of the way out to the highway. This view of the La Salle Mountains. The La Salle Mountains are the second highest mountain range in the state of Utah. Thanks for watching.